So now we're going to go through the area of money, finance.
Okay.
And, you know, in one of your teachings, you mentioned, I think it's titled, The Future is...
the guy yesterday.
Yeah, something about the future.
Okay.
Yes.
My future depends on it.
My future depends on it. Yeah, that was the teaching. You mentioned that you should get all you can when it comes to money. You should also save all you can. And then you also say you should also give all you can.
And invest all you can.
And invest all you can. I wonder if you could maybe shed more light on that. Because it looks like finances is a big deal.
Oh, yes. You know, Jesus gave us 39 parables. 13 of it was about money issues. 13 of the 39 parables had to do with money. Now, Jesus spoke more about money than he spoke about heaven or hell.
Wow.
Oh, yes. Money is a very important aspect of our lives. You know, money was not something that Jesus probably relegates to the background. But let us understand this. While money is a good messenger, money is a bad master. There are certain things you don't do with money. There are certain things you need to do with money. Most of the time, it's not that we do not have money, but we don't manage it well. Money management is a skill that every child of God ought to develop. Because a lot of things will be passed into your hands. But you need to remember that you are a steward of whatever God allows to come into your hand. Who is a steward? A steward is not an owner. The steward in the restaurant knows that the food that is put in his hands is not for him or her to sit down and eat, but to manage. If you go to the kitchen, they give you the steward food, and then you take it to the restaurant and serve it. A steward does not look at whatever is in his hand as what he possesses. We are stewards. Paul said it like this. He said, I receive of the Lord that which I deliver to you. We are stewards. What is it that you and I have that we did not receive? And that's what the Bible said, whatever we receive, we should manage it. That's why I say, do all you can to get all you can. Do all you can to save all you can. Do all you can to invest all you can. Do all you can to give all you can. That's money management. Money comes to us. Mismanagement of money dislocates us from the position of getting more. To him that has and uses well shall more be given, and will have much. To him that has and does not use it well, even that which he has shall be taken away from him. Money is good. Money does good. Money in itself is not good or evil. It is what people do with money. The same money that can be used to sponsor crime can be the same money we use to facilitate church growth, to buy equipment for church, to overhaul churches. So we need to understand that it's the management of money that every child of God needs to learn. And that is something in the days ahead that I believe every person who is listening to this message must ask God for wisdom to manage. Wisdom to manage finances. Today, when you look at rich people, there are some people today that are poor, not because they never had money come to their hands, but they were not good stewards of the money. They didn't manage it well. They wasted it. Look at the prodigal. The prodigal has so much given to him. The Bible said he spent all, he wasted them in riotous living. Once you see the way some people spend money, you will know that not much money will be in that direction. One thing I tell you is this: there is never a time in my Christian life that I asked God for money and He did not give it to me, because He knows that I'm going to use it well. How? Because of the way I've used the ones He has committed into my hands earlier. So money is important, and we need to know that we can use money. We can make money work for us. We should stop working for money. No Christian is rich for as long as you're working for money. Until money begins to work for you, that is when you are rich. Money is the current, you should make it flow. That's something you don't do to money. You don't love money. You don't give up money. You don't brag about money. Because that's, the Bible warns us against all these things. But what we do is use money in putting people in heaven. The best of money is to get souls saved through money. To get church built through money. To send out missionaries through money. To print tracts, print books. Have television program through money. So that the gospel can be translated and go all over the world. I was in one place one day. And the ministers were there, they were buying shoes. Each shoe was $7,000. I can say this boldly. In my life as a Christian, I don't think I can bring myself to a point where we buy one shoe. Even for $150. It's too expensive. You won't have only one shoe. How many shoes, sir, do you have in your wardrobe? Some of them you have never worn in the last 3-4 years. And you buy one man that day, one of the ministers bought 8 of them. 7,000. 8 shoes. And I looked at him and I said, and I looked at the leg. If you can just wear this on your leg, what color is your leg? I know $56,000. I know how many naked children in Africa, sick people, it can minister to and help. And that is what money is for. You don't burn money, you don't hold money yourself. The Bible is not against it, but it's against saving more than is necessary. He that withhold more than is necessary, generate to poverty. We need to learn money management. Churches need to learn money management. Accountability is very important. I shop only when there is sales. Not because I cannot afford.
Okay.
Yeah, but when a shirt comes out in any of spring, it's $50. Wait until August. Yeah. It will go probably for 15. Now why should I buy it when it was 50? When I can buy it when it's 15? Money management.
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right, thank you. So you're supposed to get all you can in terms of money on stage. But after you get on stage, you're also supposed to
invest
give
and then invest.
And invest. So let's talk more about the giving and investing. So I was wondering, in terms of giving, there are different types of giving you should do. So how would you structure your giving in terms of, I'm going to give to your family, I'm going to give to the church, I'm going to give to the poor, I'm going to give to me. So many things completely for our giving. So what would be a good distribution of the giving in terms of percentage or in terms of what is really appropriate in line with the book? Because it looks like nowadays, one of the things I'm hearing, something like teaching against tithing. So I was wondering if you could maybe help us balance that area in terms of the giving pattern for a child of God in alignment with the book. That is not based on some half-baked teaching, but what would be a strong, sound principle based on giving that we can find in the book that any child of God could adapt to life in terms of giving to different people in his life, giving to his church, to his parents. What would be a good balance in terms of giving?
Well, I will say generally when it comes to giving, you need to understand this place. God speaks to Israel in Malachi. He said, "You have wronged me." And the answer that said, "In what way have we wronged you?" And then he said, "In tithes and offerings." Now, there have been a lot of discussion in the last few years about tithing. And I wonder why. You know why? Because my own giving is bigger than my tithing. Let me give you this very simple illustration. When it comes to tithing, the word tithe, T-I-T-H-E, is from the Anglo-Saxon word theota, V-E-O-T-H-E, which means a tenth.
A tenth, got it.
Now, a tenth of my income is probably, let's say I earn $8,000. A tithe is 800. Now, I have gone beyond tenth because I know that tenth is the minimum, not the maximum. What God asks us to do is the minimum. Nobody goes to an exam and is aiming for the minimum.
Yes, sir.
Every one of us, we're Maybe for the
monthly. Yep.
Now, if 10% is the minimum, why can't a child of God raise his tithe from 10 to 20%, to 30%, to 40%? That's one of my mentors here in Lake Forest, in Southern California, here in the Orange County. His name is Rick Warren. Now, when I went to that house conference some years back, and this man said he gives 90% of the income to God, I was scandalized. I was shocked. How can someone give 90% of his income to God and be able to live on 9%? Then he added, among other things, that you people don't know that 1% is a lot of money. Now, when he wrote the purpose-driven life, out of that one book, apart from the Bible, that is the only book that has been the world bestseller. He said he made so much money that he could buy entire countries. He said, but why did you think God made him to make so much money? He said, because God knows that anyway he's going to get 90% of it back.
Wow.
Now, when God will put money in the hand of those he can trust. If God cannot trust you, put so much into your hands. Because if you are going to be a dam and not a bridge for money to go out to other people's hands, then why will God put your hand? I remember as a young pastor, I was asking God, why is it that you don't give our church people money? When they do business, it's like they come back and they say they don't make so much money. Why? God says, the reason why I don't do is very simple. If giving them money will make them use it the way unbelievers will use the money that they have, why should I give it to them? Unbelievers will use it the same way. So I will say, and this is my own calculation, tithing is 10%, but a Christian, when it comes to giving, on the whole, when it comes to the various options of giving, should be able to give about 15% of his income. Because tithing is once, well, not once. Whatever comes in your hand, you have to it. But there are so many offerings.
Okay.
Doing donations, building, special programs, poor people, motherless, giving to parents, giving to those who are doing celebrations, funeral, birthday, and there are people like that all around us. In a month, I told you 8,000, you give it 100. In a month, you discover if you are really who you are supposed to be as a Christian, you will give away 1,000, which is more than 800, which is your tithe. Now, when it comes to giving, let me now say this. There are two levels of giving. There is a giving grace, but there is what we call sowing grace.
Sowing grace.
Many Christians have never gravitated to sowing. Let me tell you this, there are 7 differences. I won't be able to go into that this session. There are 7 different differences between giving and sowing. But many people don't understand it. But let me just show you one.
Okay.
When you give me anything, it is to help me. When you sow to me, it is to help you.
When I give to you, it will help you.
It's to help me.
Sow to you,
yes.
it will help you.
You give that to the sower. Yes. If farmer does not take seed and give it to the ground to help the ground,
that's right. He's actually return.
That's what I say, sow to yourself. So if my need is what determines my seed, that is sowing.
Your need also determines your seed.
That is sowing. If what I need is what presses me. Let me give you a good example. I was going to marry. I was 2 weeks to my marriage in 1984. 2 weeks to my marriage. So I've been married now for 40 years plus. And there was nothing to use for the marriage. No money to buy suits, to buy food, to transport people, to rent auditorium and facilities to use for the marriage. But I had only 200 naira. The 200 naira couldn't buy me a suit, couldn't buy my best man a suit, couldn't rent a hall. So it was not enough. Just like the seed in the hand of a farmer cannot be compared to the bags of harvest. So God told me, I will show you the place to go and sweet. So I took the 200 and I went to the particular church where God told me to go and I dropped it there. Now it was my need that provoked my sowing. I was not trying to help the church. I don't even know the pastor.
Your need.
I saw my need. So when it is your need that determines what you are parting with, that is sowing. But if you come to me and say, sir, I have a problem with my rent, I can't pay my rent, okay? And I give you the giving.
I'm giving. Okay.
I will keep it at that. It's a whole lot of revelation. But let us just keep it at that level where people can. I mean, it's something I practice intentionally. There is intentional time when I say, I'm hard pressed. And things that are tough are wrong. Then I take whatever I have. Like the farmer will take his seed. The Bible says, give seed to the sower and bread to the eater. They look alike. Seed and bread look alike.
They're different.
They are different in purpose. The person who does not know the difference between seed and food will eat both.
You eat both.
You will eat both. You see people eating their seed and eating their food. When you eat your seed, you eat your future. Because it's your seed that connects you to the future harvest. And you're supposed to sow it. Isaac was going to run away in famine. You remember? Genesis 26. And God said, don't leave that place. Stay there. What did he do in that land? He sowed. He sold what he had. By that time he had gathered everything, he was going to run away. Everything he had, God said, no. Okay, if I'm not going to leave, this is what I have. You know, the Lord, he sold. And God gave him 100-fold. So what he was sowing, it was for his welfare. It was for his well-being. It was not because of the land that was traveling. He wasn't trying to help the economy of that place. No. He was trying to better his own life. And God gave him 100-fold. A fold is 100. A 100-fold is 100 and 100. Which means from definite to indefinite. When God says 100-fold, it means 100 times 100. Because the fold is 100. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Grace, when it comes to parting with finances, we must go for the highest. I don't need 10% anymore. I was telling someone this recently, I said, even when it comes to giving, there is a giving that is inappropriate. Any giving that does not reflect your ability is not appropriate.
Giving that does not reflect
your ability.
Giving that is inappropriate.
Inappropriate.
Okay.
The Bible says it like this in 1 Corinthians 16:1. It said, upon the first day of the week, let every person set aside, even as God has blessed him.
Okay.
When you come to California, sir, let's imagine how much you are earning.
Yes.
Let's imagine what your offering level was.
$800 a month.
Probably at that time, you're squeezing $50 out. If after so many years, your ability have increased to the point that you're now having $16,000 a month, and you're still giving $50,000, that is inappropriate. It is not according to your ability. Everybody should give according to what they are able to, based on the blessing of the Lord. It should reflect. You see, your giving. I told someone this. Listen, I said, let your giving be according to your income, or else your income will be according to your giving.
Or else your income will be what you're giving. Your income will now dwindle?
Yes, that's what it is.
Wow.
Let your giving be according to your income, which means according as how God has blessed you. That is the Bible pattern. But not many Christians do it. They just give ritualistically. They give as a duty. They give because it's a command, give, and it can be given to you. So they just give, it's a command, it's offering type of. They don't give according to the ability that they have. And that's why in some churches, I always tell people this. Every church can meet the need of that church. The need of that church.
The members.
In the wilderness. Were there other people to help them build?
No.
After 430 years of slavery, they left actually with nothing. They were slaves. But in the wilderness, they built a tabernacle. And they gave until they told them not to give any food.
Yes.
That's it. But the church today, people are not giving according to their ability.
Okay, I got a follow-on question, sir. So when people are being told to give and they say, I have bills, I'm maxed out, I have put myself in so many commitments, so how will the person extricate himself from that?
You reduce your commitment.
He can give tithe. Because
you reduce your commitment, sir. I'll tell you with this. I don't have many of these so-called commitments that people have. I don't. There are certain things I cannot afford. I don't take them for credit because I can't afford them. I'm not going to max out myself by over-commitment to this, over-commitment to cable TV, commitment to a car that is bigger than what I can manage. I mean, there are so many kind of cars I can buy. But when I'm buying them, I'm thinking, what is it going to take out of me? There are certain bills that are not necessary. So you need to cut your coat according to your cloth, not according to your size.
According to the material available. Amazing.
If you cut it according to the material available, then instead of a long trouser, probably a short maker.
Short maker. Not according to your size.
Not according to your size. Yes. Your size is so. You want the long something, and that is your size. But the cloth you have can make a long trouser for you, so you better shut down. And that's okay. It's according to that what you have.
That is okay, yeah?
Yeah. Many times, people are not ready to short-circuit themselves. They don't want to make sacrifices. They want to spread themselves out. There's some things I don't do. Not because I don't do them, not because they are evil, but they are not necessary.
You prioritize to do it.
For example, when it comes to the wearing, regulate my finances, there are certain things I don't really involve myself in. Commitment to some big, high-falutin, what do you call it, financial obligation that would drain me monthly. Oh, I'd rather go without that.
Okay, so thank you very much. Very, very insightful.